There are very few Indian designers who are really innovating products, and one such name is Rimjim Dadu. India is known for saris, and if there is anybody who has really innovated the whole idea of sari is Rimjim Dadu, because this designer has created a steel sari. So I was lucky enough to have her interview and understand what is the design process that she follows.
Hi, this is Rimzim Dadu and I'm a designer running my label. It's been 11 years now.
We wanted to know about the metallic sari that you did.
The metallic sari is actually made out of steel wires. So it's a steel wire sari, and we woven steel to create a metallic palla. It's a really structured sari, but yet it's super drapeable. It's very easy to wear. It's actually really soft. And depending on the way you drape it, it could look really structured or it could look really fluid. So it's for me, when I created the sari, it was about like trying to do something innovative with the sari and experimenting and like sort of doing my weaves in other format. So that's how the steel sari came about.
Okay, and you've been known to have taken your artisans on the stage. I mean, what was that whole thought process?
Fashion, usually like fashion shows are super like they're non-interactive. Like the audience comes and they sit and a show happens and you're probably not even able to understand and see what just went by. Okay, so the whole idea behind putting my artisans and bringing my studio on the ramp was, to achieve like greater transparency. In fact, because we spend so much time in doing R&D for our techniques and collections, I wanted to showcase the whole process behind making of the collection, bring the whole behind the scenes on the ramp, and plus like I wanted to highlight the people who actually put the show together. I mean, it's also it's so important because it's not just a one-man show. It takes an entire team to pull it together. So that was the whole idea of letting the people come in early into the auditoriums where entire studio was set up. They could see each technique that was being made. They could interact with the people. They could touch, feel, ask them questions and things like that. And then like after a good like half an hour, 30 minutes of an interactive session, a show began. So people could actually relate to what was walking down the ramp because they had like closer look at it, they'd seen it, they had understood how it's made, what sort of time and effort does it actually even take to make that. So for me it was innovating on like a basic format of a show and taking it further and pushing the boundaries of it.
So your one of the most talked about product was your Patola sari in leather.
We did the Patola weave in leather. Basically, we took inspiration from the Patola of Gujarat and we tried to interpret it in our signature leather cords. One of the garments from the collection is actually part of the V&A's collection, and it was showcased at one of the exhibitions called Fabric of India, and this happened in 2015, and I was like super excited to be at the V&A.
The silicone,
yeah.
Jamdani.
Devi Art Foundation was doing a show on contemporary Indian textiles, and they wanted us to create something for the show, and I took inspiration from the traditional Jamdani of India, which is a really, really light fabric, and it's so finely woven that you can actually only see the patterns that are happening on it once you sort of hold it against the light. So I took inspiration from the fact that it's so light and translucent, and you can see the patterns once they're held against light. I sort of tried to make it in my own way. We made a traditional Jamdani sari out of silicone sheets, and we wove silicone together to create that sort of Jamdani sari, and you could only see the patterns that were happening on it again when held against the light. So we displayed it on a light box, and it took us about like 2 years to work on that Jamdani and to put it together. So it was definitely one of the most labor intensive projects I've worked on, and it was super experimental because you can't weave Jamdani on let's say like a regular loom. So we had to actually make our own looms and to weave silicon.
Oh, crazy. Now I wanted to ask, your brand has been endorsed by many celebrities. Can you just name a few and how and when?
Yes, our brand has been endorsed by a lot of celebrities. We've had people from Bollywood endorse it. We've had people from sports endorse it. We've had like corporate women who are like really big endorse it. So it's really exciting to be on some of the biggest names, not just in the country but in the world. So yeah, that's really exciting.